What's up, Roulette Fools? Brent with AOB. Okay, we're back for session number 43. We left off at $654.91, so we're making good progress. Let's get right into it. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get our timer up. And today we're going to be playing a new type of progression strategy, new for our series, not new as in it. And we're going to be using the DeLorean strategy on outside bets. If you're not familiar, if you haven't seen the previous videos, we're going to go back 10 numbers. And we're going to do the opposite of that 10th spin back, not 10 numbers, 10 spins back. And we are going to do the opposite on high-low. So you can see I put a box on it. It's 8 is the number. So we're going to go 10 cents on high because 8 is the 10th one back right here, right? And we're going to go the opposite of it. Okay. Now, we are going to do positive progression Fibonacci or reverse Fibonacci. There's people call it a couple different things. What we're going to do, and there's several different ways, many different ways you can do it. I'm just going to show maybe one or two ways, and you can decide for yourself if you like this. But in effect, what we're doing, and we did a little bit of positive progression, I think at one of the episodes way early on, way early on. And basically, so our 10th number back is 4. So I'm going to be trying to talk at the same time and explain this while we're actually doing it. So what we're doing is the Fibonacci sequence, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. That's how many units. Our units are 10 cents, okay? We're going to go up the Fibonacci sequence when we win, and when we lose, we're going to go all the way back to the base bet of the Fibonacci sequence, which is 10 cents. So we won the first time. Remember, it's 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. We won the first one. So we replaced the bet with another 1 unit. We won a second time, 1, 1, 2. So now we're going to put 2 units on, no, it's that the 10th number, the 10th spin back is high. So we're going to put 2 units on low. So we're going up it. It's exactly opposite of how we would normally play it with the negative progression, right? Negative progression, every time we win, we're just keeping our bet the same. And when we lose, we start going up the progression schedule, whether that's martingale, super martingale, Fibonacci. We go up, increase our bets to recover our losses. What we're doing here is the exact opposite. And I'll tell you what my thoughts are on this particular version of that strategy as we go along. And maybe you'll just see it for yourself. All right, we lost that one. So the 10th number back is 34. So we're going to go back to the base unit, which is 1 unit. The idea behind positive progression is that it very, very, very much limits your losses, because if you get on a long losing streak, you're betting the base bet, 10 cents, 10 cents, 10 cents, 10 cents, right? Versus if you get on a long losing streak and you're doing a negative progression where we're increasing on losses, your loss is unlimited up till your bankroll or you decide to quit, right? Because you could keep losing and increasing your bets until you're out of money. This one, you're going to be able to control. All right, so we lost there again. So it's 20 is a high again. So we're going to go low again with 1 unit. We're just staying at the base bet. So let's say you have $1 units. I want to make the numbers really easy here. You have a $100 bankroll. You're going to do $1 units. You're going to have 100 times to lose in a row, right? Now, what's that going to happen? It's not going to happen, right? That's not going to happen. So you're going to be limiting your losses. And the advantage of the Fibonacci reverse Fibonacci positive progression, I'm going to just kind of use both those terms together in case you hear it from different places, is that if you win the first one, if you win the very first spin, then within that sequence, every bet thereafter, you're getting, basically you're playing with house money. Within that sequence, you will not lose, because if you bet one at the very start, and this is on the outside 1-to-1 bets, okay, only right now, you bet the first one 1 unit and you win 1 unit. So you're up 1 unit. When you rebet 1 unit in the second sequence of the Fibonacci and you lose, you already made 1 unit. So you break even. Every sequence beyond that now, you're actually going to make money above where you started in that Fibonacci sequence. So it's sort of like, okay, so we won that one. So that's 1. Now we are going to repeat the bet because it's 15, which is low. So we're going to repeat. We're at the second step of Fibonacci, 1, 1. So the idea behind this is it limits your losses, and within the sequence of that Fibonacci chain that you're in at the time, like right now, we just started the Fibonacci. We won the first one in this sequence. After we win the first one, we're basically playing with house money for then on. And as you keep winning and you're going up the Fibonacci sequence, you can decide at any time where you want to stop. So if we go up and we win 5 in a row, which is, I'll get to that in a second. When we get there and we get to 5 in a row and you've been increasing along the Fibonacci sequence and you're looking at your graph and you're like, hey, I'm up nicely on the sequence or I'm up nicely overall, you don't have to keep going on the sequence. You can pull the plug at any time, and that's for you to decide. Now, the nice thing about it is if you decide to gamble and keep going up, spin was invalid. Ball respawn, game will continue. I didn't see that they invalidated any of my spins, at least there, because we have a loss on the book. So I'm trying really hard to pay attention today. Some people noted, hey, you're betting wrong. And I'm trying to explain this because it's a little bit difficult for beginners to understand. So that was the first part of the sequence. So Fibonacci 1, 1. Maybe this is a spin they're going to call, which is good. I need a pause so I can tell you. So you can pull the plug at any time. Now, let's say you've won 6 in a row. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. You put an 8-unit bet down. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. Let's just say you put a 5 one down. You went to the fifth sequence, fifth step. You win on that one. And you decide, I want to go for it. I just won on 5. I'm going to place an 8-unit bet. Okay, pros and cons. Pros are you could lose that bet and lose those 8 units. That's the con. The pro, did we lose? Did he say we lost that one? Oh, we won that one. So we go to high here. That was 1 here. Winning result not registered. Enter manually. Okay. All right, well, we're showing a win on our chart here, so we're okay. The con is, like anything, you place that 8-unit bet and you lose it. You lost an 8-unit bet. The pros are that the bets that you won prior to that in the Fibonacci sequence are more than the 8-unit bet. So even if you lose that 8-unit bet, when you go to the beginning of your chart where you started that new Fibonacci sequence, you will have made money, okay? You don't lose it. So it's, in some respects, and we had a big discussion in this in Discord last night, and that's why it's really good if you get in our Discord. We have talks like this all the time in the community voice channel. And it's just so great because you're getting so many people putting their inputs and ideas in there. So we started talking about this. So I said, okay, one of our members, Badelock, said this is what he likes to do. So I started trying it out. And again, I'm going to give you my thoughts on this, and I'm going to tell you some other variations that we're going to try maybe in the second session. And then after that, I have a feeling I kind of know what we're going to end up doing for the third session. Okay, so we're losing. So at least we're only losing base bets here, right? At least we're only losing base bets. Next one's 31, so we're going to go up to low. So in an essence, you can kind of decide how, I don't want to call it greedy because I don't believe it. This is considered greedy, but you can decide if you're winning along the Fibonacci sequence, just how much are you willing to risk to win, but you're not risking within that sequence. After the first win, you're not risking any more of your money because you will at least break even or make profit along the way from that sequence. Now, Brad and I were in there and we were talking to Badelak and we were discussing this very thing. Man, oh live, we're not doing well, are we? Okay, we're betting low again. And if you look at that, I mean, anyway, did they count that as a win? Oh, we bet high, we went low. Okay. So, all right, we did win that first one. Okay, so this is a second step of Fibonacci. Brent, pay attention. Brad and I have a different philosophy on that, and that is Badelock was not focused on the losses or up the step and losing. He's not worried about it because in his mind, and he's not wrong, if you're betting Come on. We cannot get, and this is going to go to my review of this at the end. You'll see. At least with this particular way I'm playing it. He's not wrong in that, hey, you won the first one. After that, there's zero risk to you within that sequence. So why not risk it and try to get up to 10 levels or whatever and get these really massive wins? Brad and I had the philosophy of, I think of it as my whole session, not just those sequences as their own. So as we were playing it, at one point I got up and won like 4 or 5 in a row, and I had recovered from my losses like this, and I was in session profit. And Balak was more of the mentality of keep going because you've got nothing to lose. And at that point, I think Brad and I were aligned, which is, well, we do have to lose, because when you win that last bet in whatever step of the sequence you're at, let's say we won the 5 unit sequence step, the 5th step, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. All right, the 5th step of the sequence, which is 5 units, we win that. Those 5 units are in our account now. I get it that it's house money, and that's cool, but that's also part of our profit and our chart and our session and our goal. So risking, when you go to the next step, you're not just risking house money. I mean, you're also risking your money in respect. So I urge people that if you're going to play something like this or any strategy, when you get, all right, we got to go low, last one was 35. When you get, did I misbet that one? Yeah, because the last one was 20, wasn't it? I was supposed to bet low. All right, pay attention, Brent. Anytime keep an eye on your chart. Yes, I get it where you're playing with house money. So within that Fibonacci sequence, you won't lose money from where you started. But I don't think the rest of us think that way. At least I don't. So if we go on a run right here and I get above here, and or even equal to it, having been down, I'm going to make a decision. Do I want to risk? Because this is my money now. This isn't just house money. This is my money now. And you're risking your money. I get the sequence. So hopefully you understand what I'm saying. So when I'm winning, because when I'm looking down here too, and I'm going, okay, let's say on this black run, let's say we're playing colors, so it's more visually easy for you to see. And I'm winning. I win on this, follow the winner. So I start at the 20, 1, 2, 3, and I win 4. I also, in my head, even though every spin has no memory and every spin has its own chance, we also have to look at probability. And I start looking at probability going, what's the chance we're going to get yet another black and another black? And it decreases in half every step. Okay, so, all right, there's the first step in our sequence. 2 is the 10th number back. We're going to go to high. We're on the second step, which is another 1 unit. So if you've met your daily goal already, which is, remember, that's a nice to have, that's not a hard target that we need to get to. If you have, let's say you've reached your 5% and you're doing really well with this, and you want to, or any strategy, and you want to keep playing, I told you, my perspective is you should drop your bets way lower, be more conservative, keep playing, that's all bonus. But if you're going to do this positive progression, which is really great, because if you got this certain amount of profit, you can say with the Fibonacci sequence, I'm only going to let myself lose 3 bullets, because I'm not going to, every time I lose, I'm only losing 1 unit, right? So you can say to yourself, I'll give myself 3 bullets, 3 whatever, and if I lose 3 in a row. But if you win, after that first win, you're neutral at a minimum. You'll be positive within that sequence above your 5%. So as you're going up, because you're not going to lose below where your 5% left off, and this is all bonus money, if you decide you want to risk it for the biscuit at that point, I totally understand. Go for it. Because as you go along the Fibonacci sequence with a positive progression, when you finally do lose, you'll have actually made money above from where you started that sequence. So then you can rinse and repeat, and you can try to go for it again. Okay, I think you're seeing why I'm not a big fan of this particular version of positive progression Fibonacci outside 1-to-1 bets, because we played it for quite a while last night, testing it. And this graph is very, very typical of this particular version. Now, Badlack is saying, yes, it's a very slow, it's grinding, it's going down. Basically, you're waiting for that one run. You're waiting for that one run to come. And I can tell you what, we played last night. I played this for over, I want to say I played for an hour and a half, but it might have been an hour. And it was just this. We did have one little blip of a run where we got kind of up. And if I had hit one more, I would have been at session equal or high, and I lost it. So you're so reliant on not just runs of 1, 2, or 3. You're really reliant on getting these runs of 6, 7, maybe even, depends on how far down you go. But if you can get that run, this thing recovers very quickly on those runs. So one decent run, if we can get like say 4 in a row right here, we will have recovered and been in session profit already. But I'm not a huge fan from a perspective. All right, we won 2 in a row, right? So 1, 2. The next one is a 6. We're going to go high again with 2 units. So, right, we won 1, we won 2. So we've won 2 units. I'm betting 2 units now. So again, at this stage, if I lose, right, I'm not losing. I won't go below here on the graph, right, where we started the sequence. I won't go below. So that's the nice thing. Now I can go, well, at least I'm not going to go deeper than I was at the point. Kind of a mind shift, right? But what I found is this flounders a lot. It does take a lot of strong will. See, like this, it does take a lot of strong will. We begin again, and it's 33 was the 10th number back. So I'm going 1 again. If you're just joining us, look down there. I'm colorblind. I don't know if it's yellow or orange or green, but there's a box down there around 33 that I set there, so you can tell what number was the 10th number back. This is it's very safe, but to me, this is too safe. I might as well not even be gambling. That's my opinion. I don't want to spend 1, 2, 3 hours to make this much money. Now, you could gamble that much and then go on a nice 10-win run and hope you're going to do that. My thought is, do you guys really want to sit in front of the computer for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours hoping for that run? I don't either. All right, 36 was, so we're going to stay on low. So we're going to wrap this up here. You can get more aggressive with this. Instead of doing 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, you can just start. You can skip the second, which is 1, 1, and go 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Okay, so you can get more aggressive. We have some I think we only really have like 1 or 2 members that utilize this type of positive progression for their play. You can also start at 3 units, right? Start at the 3rd step, 1, 1, 2, 3, or the 4th step, and go 3, 5, 8. Start going from there. Or you can, so there's different ways you can do this to be more aggressive, and we lost again. All right, so we're going to end this session down 70 cents. When we come back for one more session, we're going to run this back, except we're going to get a little bit more aggressive with it. And on this particular strategy, you're going up the Fibonacci sequence. As soon as you lose, you go all the way back to start. What we're going to do when we come back is, when we lose, we're going to come back 2 steps in the chain if we can. Today, I don't think we got above the 3rd step, which was a 2-unit bet. We never even got beyond that in 18 minutes. So we'll see what happens when we come back. If we can have a little bit better run, if we get a little bit more aggressive, we're going to drop the 2nd step of Fibonacci, the repeat bet. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 5. And instead of going all the way back to base bet, if we lose, we're going to step down 2. Maybe we might even try stepping down 1 if we still continue to have it, and see if we just step back 1 level in the Fibonacci. And that's another option you have, is if you're winning positive progression, and let's say you get up to the 5th win and you don't want to go to 8 units, but you don't want to go all the way back to start because you don't want to miss out on a win, you could pull your step and go back to the 3rd step of Fibonacci, or the 2nd step, or the 4th step. You don't have to there's nothing hard-coded in this. You can customize this for yourself and your experiences. All right, gang, we'll be back in about 10 minutes, and we'll give it another second go and see if we can make this even better. All right, cheers. Okay, fools, we are back for the 2nd session. So we're down 70 cents. So what we're going to do is we're going to step it up and get a little bit more aggressive. We are going to kick out the 2nd step of Fibonacci and just go 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. We're also not going to step forward or step all the way back on a win. We are going to go back 2 steps in the Fibonacci sequence if we can. if we can get enough to go back to. Okay. So, and I'm going to play on the method where I don't care where I'm at in the Fibonacci sequence. If I look at my chart here and we are either breaking even or breaking even at water level here or back to session, our session high or in session profit, any one of those three combinations, I'm going back to the base bet. I'm not going to continue risking and staying underwater here for the potential of bigger wins. Okay, so we're going 1, 2. The last one was 35 again, so we're going to go 2 units. Remember, we're skipping that. And some people do and some people don't do the repetitive second, 1, 1, right? Some people just believe in the 1, 2. If this flounders in the next, say, maybe 8, 7 minutes, if we're still floundering, I'm going to 3x my bankroll bet and go to 3 units. It'll become our new 1 unit, but we'll do 3 units of our current unit. So we'll start with a 30-cent bet and go 3, 6, right? 9, 15. That'll be our progressions. We can call it 1 unit, but you get what I'm saying. 30 cents, 60 cents. So 30 cents becomes our 1, right? So maybe I'm not phrasing that very well. Okay, 1, 2. So our next unit we look is 35 again. We're going to do 3 units. Here we go. So let's see. We're going to do the exact same thing we're doing here, except our unit will now be 30 cents. So we're still doing 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, 5, except our units will be worth 30 cents instead of 10 cents. I probably should have just opened with that, right? Okay, let's go and see how this does. Another thing we did, we were talking about this for quite a while and testing it for a couple hours. Okay, there we go. 3. Now we're going to 5 because we had 2 and 3 and we're going high. So we got 5 units. So this is great because if we lose here, we can step back 2 because we've gone 1, 2, 3, 5. We're on the 4th step. We can come back to the 2nd step will be 2 units. So if we lose on this one, we're going to go back to the 2nd step instead of all the way back to the 1st step and hope we can get a couple more runs. If we win this, it's decision time, right? Our session high was 20 cents. We're down 10. We're betting 50. So if we're going to go up 40 cents above water level and we have a decision to make, go up to the next sequence. Well, we don't have a choice there, do we? We lost. Okay, so the 10th spin back resulted in 31. So we're going to go up here. We're going to go back 2 steps, and that will be a 2 unit bet. Okay, so we had a big discussion. We were playing this, and then one of our newer members to, especially to Discord and to Voice, Wes, came in, and Wes had some questions, and pretty much one of the questions was the equivalent of what's the meaning of life? Okay, so that's the equivalent in gambling, and the question is kind of a multi-part question. All right, there we go. So we won on the 2, so you can see the advantage of there. So now we're going to go to 3 units, and it's high again. It's 23, so we're going to go 3 units. Was basically, how do I know what unit size I should be playing with? Kind of that whole thing based on my bankroll, my unit size, and how do I know on this journey, this challenge? How do I know as my bankroll builds when to start increasing my bets? So I'm going to give you the textbook answer, and this is my textbook in terms of my opinion. Oh man. 3. So we got to go all the way back. 1, 2, 3. We're going back 2 steps. So we're back to base unit now. And that 12 is the last number to hit. So we're going opposite of that. So we're going here. 1 unit on high. We're starting the sequence again. And if you look at the graph, you can see at least over here where we started down 70 cents. As soon as we started that sequence, we're still at 70 cents. So we're not worse off for wear other than our time. And that's the advantage of this type of positive progression, is that you're limiting your deficit. It's much slower. I told Baidlack it was like death by 1,000 cuts rather than just let's get it over with, All right, 1 unit there. We're going to go up to 2 units. The next number is 29. We're going low. So with regards to how do you know what unit sizes to use, all that kind of stuff, the fundamentals, the answer is this. There's not one answer, but here's one of the answers. The textbook is you decide what strategy you're going to play. You're going to decide how many progressions do you feel you should have for that strategy? You're going to go to the progression tool on our website, and you're going to see what unit size fits to give you that number of progressions. And this is my frustration with this system right now, folks. All right, so 17, we're going high. It's just, I told Baidlack, sure, you need patience, you need time, but in some respects, if you want to be this conservative, why the fuck are you gambling? Seriously. Okay? Maybe this isn't your cup of tea. You know, maybe you should just take your money, and there's nothing wrong with that, and put it in a mutual fund, put it in an indexed fund. Okay? And actually, as I launch and get everything together on the how to retire from your job and do something like this full time, I'm going to include some of my opinions and my experiences with, we're one, so we're high again, we're 2 units, with not just gambling, but other investments. And Wes also asked me last night, so how did I sort of start this channel? How did I get started to begin with? So I've said it before, way back a year ago. I will go back and kind of tell you how I got to where I'm at and what has, basically created my opinions on everything I do. And they're just opinions. They're just opinions on this for me. Okay. So don't take me as the burning bush of knowledge. Oh, man alive. All right. We're going back to base bet. We're going on high again because 14 is our 10th number back. We're going opposite. So I've said it to you guys before, that's the textbook as far as how to calculate what your unit size will be, and we discussed several different options as your bankroll goes up. How do you recalculate that? The first one is you literally just repeat that step. What's my bankroll? What strategy I want to do? I need 8 progressions, whatever that number is for you. And for me to get 8 progressions, I'm going to need this much bankroll, et cetera. And this is the unit size. And you can use our progression tool on our website to do exactly that. We're staying on high with 1 unit. The other one that I've told you guys before, and I like this one, is that as your bankroll grows, if you're satisfied at the time with the amount that you're making per day, there's no rule that says you have to increase your bet size as your bankroll grows. We're doing 10-cent units here. If you get to 1,000 and you're really comfortable with the amount that you're making, the time that you're making every day, stay with it. In fact, I recommend it. And so did, All on Red. He was same thing. He said, you don't have to do that. So you can stay with that and then step up slower. So when you are at 10-cent bet or whatever that bet is, and there may be a possibility that stake.com is getting rid of the penny bets on their prag tables, but we may think it might be a glitch. So I need to check back in with that. But you don't have to think of the philosophy of doubling your bankroll or whatnot. You can be going on the philosophy of you want to make 100. You started with 100. You want to make 100 at a time. And whatever your unit size that you use to get there, you just keep it at that unit size, right? And you're thinking in your head, your philosophy is not doubling, but just making 100 at a time. And you're going to make 100 at a time. And as your bankroll grows, you're getting safer and safer because you're still playing with a much lower unit size. Your percentage of your daily target is getting smaller and smaller because your bankroll is getting bigger. So now instead of a 5% daily target, it's going to slowly work its way down to 2%, 1%, to where you are spending the same amount of time every day playing, but it's a much lower percentage and much lower risk because technically speaking, and not even technically, yes, you will have more progressions available to you if you so desire. Now, I caution going, okay, my bankroll is now $500. I'm staying with 10. When I play 5 double streets, that gives me, I want to lose $100 or $150 max, whatever that is for you. I have 8 progressions at 10 cents and I'm just making numbers up. Pull up the progression chart. And now you have $500 bankroll. You go, oh, now I got 14 progressions at 10 cents. I caution you on that because these things can go on runs. And so just be aware, the number of progressions you have, really consider that at risk. That's what you're willing to risk. See, we can't even get off the ground here. Okay, we're going to go to 3-cent units and we're going to go low. So we're going to start at 30-cent units. And you know what? I'm going to save this so I have a 30-cent unit so I can easily just go up my progression chart, save last. And I'm going to get rid of this one so that I can do 30 cents down here. So I can just click on these to give me the number that I need. If we're on the second step, I can just click that twice for 2 units, which are 30 cents instead of putting 60 cents down manually. Awesome. Well, this will help us build a bet right here. This will help us build the bet here because nope, we got to go low again. We're staying up at 30 cents here. So I like that idea where you keep your daily target the same for a long time. And you're thinking of that 100 of just working until you build that 100. And then putting that 100 that you just profited, throw that in your vault. That'll keep you right there. If you're playing strict, that'll keep you with your progressions and keep it real as far as how much you're willing to lose because you're going to stay focused on that $100. All right, there we go, 3. So the next one down is 33. So we're going to go, we're going to go low again for 2 units, which is now 60 cents. So I like that. It's just a different shift. You don't, and I've said it before, this isn't a sprint. This is could potentially for you be a lifelong marathon if you really want to move towards that idea of not just taking 100 to 10,000, but taking 100 to an actual livable wage where you can free up your thing. I mean, think about it this way. All right, look at that. We're at step 2 and the next one is 30. So we're going to stay right here and we're going to put 3 units on there. So we're up at 90 cents. Think about it this way. And maybe a lot of you already have remote working jobs where you can work anywhere in the world. But when you have a job like this, not only can you work anywhere in the world where you have an internet, a decent internet connection and, something to play on. I hate playing on my phone, but I know a lot of you do. You don't, unlike even an actual remote job where you have hours and you have team meetings and you have a boss that, all right, look at this. Now we're cooking with oil. Boom. All right, that was 3 units. We are at 1. We're going high. I'm going to put that, save that as a last bet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units there. Now we're at 5 units on high because the 10th one back was a low. Not only you have the flexibility of working anywhere, you could work on a beach in Fiji, right? Sipping on Mai Tais all day long. I don't recommend that if you're going to be gambling, right? Sipping on Mai Tais all day long on the beach. You got sun on you. You're going to get woozy. Come on. Oh, all right. So that was the 5th one. That was 5 units, right? So we're going to go back to 3 units and it's on low. So we're going to go high. So we're going to step back 2 units. 3. No, we're going to go back to 2 units. Excuse me. So this is the second progression here. So you have your own hours completely, and you can work in 15-minute increments. You could do your first session in the morning, go swimming on the ocean, for the afternoon, come back in the evening, do 2, 3 more sessions in the evening. Oh, golly. All right, we're going low with 1 unit. Okay. But you can see here, we've dropped below where we started at because we are only stepping back 2 units instead of going all the way back to base bet. So if you think of it in that perspective of going, hey, this is not just a get to 10,000 and I'm done. This is how can I get to 10,000, build that bankroll up to the point where I have enough reserves to live on for a certain amount of time. And I'll tell you when I get to that point, when I start actually getting my agenda together for how I want to approach the let's quit our job and make this a career, what I think your bankroll needs to be to sustain you, all your expenses. If you didn't make $1 every day, how much bankroll will you need that I would consider you to say, okay, I think you're at a point where not only have you proven that you can make money consistently and stay in the positive, and you can earn the amount that needs to be earned every day or every week or every month. If you focus on the day, when you figure out the day, that's just the easiest metric to go, how much do I think I need a day? But then you kind of want to shift your focus to how much do I need a month, right? Okay, 12, we're staying right here. excuse me. How much do you need a month? Because you may have a losing day and you don't want to get freaked out about that. You're going, oh crap, I said I needed $300 a day and I only made, or I lost 100 or I made 200, and you're going to go drive yourself crazy. So you're going to want to, after you calculate what you need, you're going to bring yourself out to more of a macro view and kind of start tracking that and kind of check flags along the month way to see where you're at and what you need to do. Oh my God. All right, we are going to play for we're going to give it 2 more series to try to go the 7. We're staying on high. I'm going to give it 2 more losses. I'm going to give us 2 more losses to try to get a run. So if we lose this one and we lose the next one, we're done. If we lose this one and on the next one we go on a run, we're going to go a run. And if we're able to recover at least to water level, then we'll cut it off. And our 3rd session, I'm going to switch gears, because my review of this is, if you want to play super conservatively or you want a kind of a wager idea, go for it. All right, there's our 1 loss. So we're going to go to low finally. I'm not a fan of this. How a couple of our members are making the money that they're doing, and some of them are saying they're playing really short sessions. I've invited them to show us online. So I want them to come on our Discord and show us their sessions and show me. I mean, because although in the whole scheme of things, I've played this very little, and I have done this in the past, and this is the reason why I don't play it, and I haven't spent much time, is for the very reason that you're looking at that graph right now. Did our graph already show a win before the ball? What happened there? Did we win that last one? No. We would have bet high. We would have lost. This graph is perplexing me. 32. The last number back was 29. So we're going to go for 2 units. I don't know. I was talking. I wasn't. But this graph looks funky. Like we did win one. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. And if we're playing the opposite, I must either bet wrong. I'll have to go back and look. So I'm interested. I'm interested too. And there's our loss. We're going to call it quits, but I'm not giving up on this yet. I'm going to keep tinkering with it. I'm going to keep looking at different ways to be more aggressive or whatever. If the members or you out there want to use that, plays this, and you like this, and you're going, yeah, I use that same strategy and I kill it. You just don't know how to play the table. Okay. Because I'm just following one particular type. I've had similar results. Follow the winner, follow the loser. Actually, I mapped out the results on a spreadsheet, and what would have happened if I didn't follow the loser? It would have been even worse. What happened if I went static? It would have been poor. So I looked at the different ways of betting this, and in every scenario, there was no good outcome. But again, it's a very small sample size. I'm not going to play this in the next upcoming session. That we're going to do 1 more session today, or maybe 2, because we're down. And we're not looking at that we need to recover, but we're going to do 2 more sessions. Let's see if we can at least have progress in those. Anyway, I'll be back after I play with these a little longer. Who knows how long? Maybe I'll come back and show you. We'll try this again and see if we have similar results. But so far, I'm not a fan. I don't know if I'll ever be a fan of this. We'll see. All right, I'll be back. I'm going to do another session in about 10 minutes. I'll be back, and we'll go back to the way we were. Amen. All right, I'll see you guys in a few. Cheers. Okay, fools, we are back for our 3rd session here. Oh, by the way, again, we're live streaming these sessions in Discord. You can't talk or chat or anything in there, but you can watch it. So anyone that wants to continue saying, I got 2 more DMs yesterday. 27, we're going to go high. We're going to go back to our wicked negative progression ways here, the devil ways. We have one member in our Discord who really is a strong proponent for the positive progression and says the negative progression is the worst thing since the invention of the green bell pepper or the red delicious apple. That's saying it's pretty bad. My guess, and by the way, we're going to use the same strategy here, except we're going back to our normal martingale strategy, okay? We're going to play follow the winner. We're going to do exact same thing, except we're going to go with our triple. We're actually going to go triple them up. 7, we're at high. We're going 3 units. So we're going to play triple them up. But I'm willing to bet if I were a betting man, and I'm not, if I said to all of you, go out, I want you to play positive progression just like you saw us play, and you can make some variations any way you want, and in a week come back and report in, I'm willing to bet that 99% of you, probably 99.99% of you, are going to come back and say, Brent, you fucking asshole, I just wasted an entire week of 4 sessions a day and I'm down $80. That's what I'm going to guess is going to happen. Okay. So 29, we're going back to low with 1 unit here. Now, is it true that negative progressions, especially with like martingale, can get very costly? Absolutely. There's that risk. But, and Balak was talking about the risk reward ratios. Listen, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. You cannot math your way through gambling. That's just my opinion. We've seen that with Jack Ace. No offense to Jack Ace. Great guy, great channel. Go check out his channel. I like the real systematic, mathematical, logical approach to gambling. I do. I like seeing those things. Okay, where are we at? I want to make sure, because I know someone's going to say, someone who likes the positive progression is going to say, oh, but Brent, if you go back and watch those 2 sessions, you fucked up the bets 3 times. Okay, fair. I probably did, probably more than 3 times. I would be willing to bet if you go back and track all those, even if I had made the right bets on the ones that I missed, we'd still be in the effing hole like we are right now. So, you know what? Doesn't make a damn bit of difference on that. So yeah, you'd all be coming back a week just totally pissed off at me with similar results, right? Even if you broke even if you barely made profit, you're going to say, man, I spent a whole week. We're going 3x, right? We're doing super martingale, so we're going to double plus add 1 unit here. So sorry if I said, I think I might have told you we were 3xing our bets. We're super martingaling, Marty plus. We're doubling plus 1 base unit. Our base unit is 10 cents in this case. So double plus 10 every time, always plus just 10. You know, you're going to have similar results. And even like I said, even if you break even or make some profit, you're going to go, wow, I just spent an entire week with this much to show for it. Like I said, too safe in any strategy to me, it's just no good, man. We're here to gamble, right? And that doesn't mean you have to be reckless about it, but we are here to gamble. 22, we're going low, so we're going to double it plus 1 unit. We are here to gamble. There is risk, but again, if you follow the playbook, I 100% believe you can get through those bad sessions. If you follow the playbook, you time box your sessions, you know what your limits are. I'm willing to go to 6 progressions and I'm stopping. And you don't chase those losses. The next session, you forget about those losses and about trying to recover up those. You just look at your bankroll and go, okay, what's the strategy I'm going to use? How many progressions do I need? And you begin again. That you will continue to incrementally continue to go up past those losses. All right, 22, we won. So right now, didn't we start down $4? We started down $4. We're up 60 cents. I mean, we've made more in the last 4 minutes than we made in 2 sessions of, I don't know, 40 minutes or something. Do we have that unlimited risk to crash our bankroll? We sure do. But again, if you play it smart, you play it wise, and you follow the playbook, I 100% believe. Now, does that mean it's guaranteed? No. You could get session after session of just really crappy, results. So there's no guarantee. This is gambling after all, right? This is gambling. And I'm here to gamble. And I think most of you are here. So there's just, I don't know. I'd be interested if any of you out there play a positive progression system. And if you could document in the comments, even better, get in our Discord, go to the Roulette channel and show which strategy and how you're playing it. Please be as detailed as possible. Some of our members, I feel like they get in there and they want to share their success stories, but they don't really want to share how exactly they're doing it. And I'll be honest with you, you're not required. All right. Was that our first loss? No, that was our second loss. What was the amount of bet? Oh, we only bet, so where are we at? 17, we got to go high. We're going to double it plus 1 unit. I'll be honest with you, nothing pisses me off more than when we have members that say, oh yeah, look, I just made $300 from one penny, in 10 minutes. And people are like, how? Like, well, I just sort of did a little bit between roulette and baccarat and blackjack, and I do a positive or I do a negative progression, and I play Fibonacci, a modified Fibonacci, and everybody's like, how? What's the modification? Exactly how you play in this thing. All right, look at it. We're going on a bad run here. All right, we got us go low, so I'm going to repeat the bet, move this up here. We're going to double it and add 10 cents unit, 10 cents to it. Our base bet, we're at $1.50. So this is the risk, but I will take this risk of going down and losing, knowing that the other 10 sessions I'm going to do are going to be positive and I'm going to make this back up, rather than this ridiculous ditch we're digging ourselves in. You know what this thing is? You know what this graph, what positive progression, at least the way I was playing it and the way I was showing you, know what that is? That's the equivalent of those movies where you see the mobsters take the dude out into the desert, give him a shovel and say, start digging. And, oh, come on. All right, we are staying where we're at and adding 1 unit. So here, dig your own grave. That's what you're doing. Now, if that were me out there, I'd say, F you. If you're going to shoot me anyway, just dig your own fucking hole. Anyway, but then if I were the mobster and someone said that to me, I'd shoot you in the foot. You start hurting and I shoot you in the other foot, and then I kneecap you until you're like, okay, I'll dig my own hole. Anyway, I'm getting way off track, aren't I? And I really should pay attention here. I want to pay attention here because our bets are getting bigger. Okay. So the next one will stay on low if we lose on this one. All right. And we did. And we're going to go, I'm going to double it plus 10 unit. I'm going to give myself this one plus one more. Okay. Actually, I'm going to give myself 2 more. I'm going to give myself a total of 3 losses, and then I'm pulling the plug. And wherever we end it, that's where we're going to end it. I'll come back probably, no matter what, I'm probably going to come back for one more session. We're not going to worry about this graph right here. We're not going to worry about where we ended up. I'm going to leave the graph A, just so you know that I didn't like reset the session, and as I got the 2 DMs yesterday, which cracked me up because I'm like, hey, I'm live streaming to Discord now. This is the second time. Come on. No. All right, we got 2 more chances at this. We're going high. Double it plus 1 unit. Now, the beautiful thing about Marty Plus that I love is we're not wasting spins. So if we're lucky enough, fortunate enough to get a win in the next 2 spins, we will have effectively made 1 unit profit for every progression that we lost. That's what I love about this one. There's no wasted time. As long as you don't bust in your session and you play Marty Plus on the outside here, you're guaranteed to win 1 unit for every single spin. And that's why I like this one. I love controlled chaos, and we're going to play more of that. Yes, right there. That's what I'm talking. Look at that. We're here to gamble, people. All right, we're going high with 1 unit. We're here to gamble. I love this dealer. He's my favorite dealer. Anyway, I don't even know what else I'm supposed to be talking about. So I had actually a couple people say, hey, Brent, can you start adding chapters to the video? The answer is not right now. Sorry. I have to record 3 to 5 of these a day, right? I'm not doing just 1 session a day anymore. I'm trying to record 3 to 5 of these a day. I got to do blah, 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 blah. The last thing I have time to do is, once it goes up to YouTube, is go through and scroll through and put a chapter and says, this is where I fucked up a bet. This is where I told a really stupid joke about green bell peppers. This is what you get the point. All right. If I were to put chapters, maybe I will. I can put one at each session, but the sessions are somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. So to me, you can just drag the YouTube bar to 15 to 20 minutes and you'll be right at the end of to the next session. But we'll see what I can do. That's the best I can tell you. Did get some good feedback on the website on the tools as far as the challenge tracker. Once you enter in a challenge, a session, you can't edit it. You can't delete just that session if you make a mistake. So I think that's a really critical function that we need to have. So I'm going to see about getting that added. All right, we're high. I'm going to see about getting that functionality added, that within any of your sessions, you can click edit and go and revise it. Right now, if you let's say you accidentally go and create a session and you put $5 profit and it's supposed to be $5 minus $5, just enter in another session of minus $10 and that will even it out. So do whatever you need to do right there in the time being, but I will get on that. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. I'm looking for another development team. The team that did the work now, I cut them. Oh, come on. All right, where are we going? We're going low and double that plus 1 unit. So right now I'm on the search for another development team because I want to continue editing that. Plus the team I just had, they were supposed to go through the entire site and either make it mobile friendly or create another mobile site so that it looks better on your cell phones. Thankfully, the progression and the tracker tools that I just added to the site, thankfully those are mobile friendly. So they're very much usable on your phone. I have a couple other ideas that I want to get on the site, but I'm going to take a little break. Turkey. All right, we're staying here. Here we go. I got a couple other neat things, tools I want to put on the site, and I'm not going to announce those yet because I don't want to promise them. And when I haven't really thought through exactly how it's going to be implemented, but when I do kind of get that idea, I'll let you know. Again, I'm trying to make the tools that are actually practical and actually something you would actually use. I'm going through the site. I want to try to clean it up. I want to get rid of crap that no one actually needs, right? Or no one actually uses. Come on, low. Boom. Look at that. We're digging ourselves out of this hole. We might get out of this hole by the end of the thing. All right. At the end of this session, we're at high 1 unit. I may pick up the pace here. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to play this out. Actually, you know what? We're going to stay the course. We've recovered almost half of what we were down. And again, I don't care what we were down, but I do care. Hopefully that makes sense, right? We're not going to chase. We're going to be where we're going to be at the end of this session or next session. But I am looking at this, and this does motivate me. I do want to recover my losses. I'm just not going to go crazy like going, all right, so like I said earlier, Wes told us last night that he got losses. And so he went all in with a $125 bet, which was over half his bankroll. All right, 33. We must have messed. Did we mess up? All right. No. We're okay. We were doing it right. I don't recommend that, gang, because the problem with that is he won this time, right? And I'm not saying you can't do it or you shouldn't do it for the most part if you're willing to accept that loss. And he said he was willing to go from a bankroll of around 250-ish to $125 bankroll and start again. If you're okay with that and you want to take the chance, beautiful, go for it. Okay. We're not getting on winning runs though. Insofar as our profit, it doesn't make a difference because we're going to win 10 cents per spin no matter what, as long as we don't bust. So again, that's why I really like this. We're not wasting time, but it would be nice not to have the anxiety of getting up in our bet sizes, right? So we've gotten up one decent time, but for the most part, we've stayed in check. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually give myself this loss and one more loss, and I'm going to pull the plug because we'll still be up higher than where we were. And I think, let's see, 70 cents, 2, 3. No, we wouldn't be. Oh my gosh, dude. All right, 26, we go low, or rebet it, just drag this up here, double it, plus add 1 unit. The problem with betting big like that though is it sort of becomes the go-to thing for you, and you start betting beyond, you're willing to go deep and thinking that you're going to get bailed out. And we've said it before, if you go low and slow and minimize your losses because you're going to win over a long period, you'll get to the 10,000 and then the life goal much faster than if you do this, bet big, recover. Yes. All right, 1546. We are down to $1.80. I'm going to call it right there at 60 minutes. We're going to come back for one last session, and it'll be what it'll be, but I'm very confident that we will recover and be at least at ground level, which, remember, if you end your day or any session at even, you are beating the casino because the house edge is against you. And technically speaking, mathematically speaking, you should be losing a certain amount every spin. So if you come out even, congratulations, you are already beating the casino. All right, I'm going to take a 10-minute break. I'm going to come back and let's wrap this up with another game winning. We're going to get rid of that gravedigger strategy. All right, I'll be back. Cheers. Okay, fools. Last session today. This is what, number 4. So wherever we're at within that 15 to 20 minute kind of window, wherever we're at, that's where we're at. Okay, so we're not going to worry about it. We're going to just stay with the same thing. We had 2 sessions before with the positive progressions that ended us up minus $4. We had the last session, right, where we made $2.20. And wherever this one ends up, but I'm very confident that we are going to, recover, although it's not a necessity, but it's still my goal. I want to get back the money we lost. But at the end of the day, literally, if we end down $1.80, I'm totally okay with that. And you should be too. So if you've had a rough session like this and you do start coming up, not a bad idea to call it a day, because, and I've mentioned this before, going down to begin with sucks. Battling your way almost back, and then you keep pushing it and you go down again, that is 100 times worse for me. So, not a bad idea when you get back up like this or wherever we're at and go, you know what, it's been a really rough session. Now, we had a really good session for the most part. It went deep one time, which is to be expected, and it really didn't go that deep. When you play this outside bets, you really need to, I suggest you prepare for plenty of progressions, okay? I mean, I definitely wouldn't play this. I would play this with the expectations that you are going to go at least 8 progressions, potentially, maybe even 10. So either give yourself 6 progressions and say, I'm going to give myself 6 progressions and I'll take that loss, because you can get through most of these sessions with 6 progressions, but you need to prepare to bust those. If you've played clever bets at all and let this thing run, these outside bets will go 12, 15. They'll have some incredible runs, no matter if you play follow the winner, follow the loser, static, they will go on these runs. And that's sort of what like Badelock was trying to say, is that if you play it long enough, you will go on these nice runs. All right, we're staying right here on high, but you saw the results there. Okay, again, reminder, I'm streaming in Discord. All 4 of these sessions have been streamed live in Discord, and I'll try my very best to stream it. I can't guarantee I'll stream every time. There's some times where I literally, even though I don't see the people in Discord and I can't hear them and I'm not interacting, sometimes I do like it where it's just me, the camera, the table, for whatever reason. But also, and I believe I've mentioned this several times, but if not, I'm sorry. I am not recording the day that this video is dropping for you, okay? So if I say something like this, which is, hey, college football playoffs are again tonight, Oregon against Indiana, let's go Oregon. And you're like, wait a second, this video is 3 days after that. Yeah, because I can't necessarily get to these every day, and yet I want to have, so I have to get some in the funnel ahead of time, so that because I really want one of these to drop every single day if possible. And that's what I did with the 100K challenge, right? Now, if I look back on the 100K challenge, I think for the most part, I was recording it just the previous day. I was just the previous day, the next day's drop. So I was just, for the most part, only one day I'm ahead. But I'm trying to get as many days ahead as I can. Boom. We're crushing this. Oh man, I'm sad to go low because we were just tearing it up on high. All right, we're at $1.30. So I don't know. Anyway, go Oregon. Would love to see them. But man, I'm sort of sad too, because Indiana has been such a Cinderella story. I love seeing these teams out of nowhere. And I'll tell you what, my opinion is, it isn't because Indiana, from this team that has never been ranked higher than, I mean, they've been down low for so long, and suddenly, it's not because the coaching is so great. It's not because, see, I told you, I wanted to stay on high. Now we're staying low. It's because nil. Nil is the transfer portal where now you can pay college players. It's become a professional sport. So now it's the teams that have the most money. And I guarantee you, Indiana, I'm speaking out of my ass quite a bit here, but I guarantee I bet if you look at Indiana and their roster, they had quite a few nil purchases in there to beef up their team. And that's also why a team that I actually can't stand, Alabama, to me, that's why they're not the powerhouse anymore, because they had the funds. And I believe that they had so much funds that they were able to now everybody could do it above table. All right, 23. And now that everybody is open to purchase and not do it sneaky, the field is becoming level. Now, obviously, smaller schools are always going to have a little bit tough time, but if they get big boosters, like who was it? Maybe it was Texas. Mark Cuban just donated a ton of money to, maybe it was Texas or Miami or something. I can't remember, wherever he went for the nil transfer portal, basically giving money, say, here you go buy yourself some talent. I hate it. All right, look at this. Didn't I just say, I was like, let's go low because I really want to go low. See, I'm a Nostradamus here. No, just kidding. Right. Okay. Wow, look at this. We're at 6 minutes. We're only down $1. Again, that's just a nice to have. That's just a metric I'm using to see how well this strategy is also working for us. And at one point, what I would like to see, because one of the members who's the positive progressions is our savior and negative progressions is the devil, Skiff, I've asked him to come and stream. I would like to actually, it doesn't have to be necessarily a competition in that respect, but I would like to play at the same table, same time. He does his positive progression, same unit size, same bankroll. I'll do whatever negative progression strategy I want to do. Let's see how they compare. And obviously one session doesn't mean, actually, it really doesn't mean much, right? I mean, we would have to do it for quite a few sessions and see how it goes, because from his perspective and Badelak's perspective, they're going to say, sure, you're going to win these, but then you're going to have these huge losses, and that's going to be your downfall. That's going to be the end of civilization as we know it. And you guys know what I'm going to say. I'm going to be like, put your money where your mouth is, or shut up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that big of a dick. All right. Well, maybe I am, close to it, but no, I wouldn't say that, but I do. So anyway, but if you have a positive progression system that you're like, no, I don't get those kind of results, get in our Discord, put it in the Roulette channel. Please be very descriptive and of everything that you do and how you determine those things. Like I said, it frustrates the hell out of me when people just post results and then aren't willing to share. Well, it's not a strategy. I'm still working on it. I don't want to tell anybody. Why the fuck not? You're still working on it. Great. Put it in there. Hey, I'm just starting on this thing. I've used it only a couple times, but so far, great results. Use at your own risk, which is every fucking strategy. Use at your own risk anyway. So to hide behind that, well, I don't have everything ironed out, but look at these amazing results. Come on. And sometimes they'll argue, well, if everybody uses my strategy and everybody starts winning, the casinos are going to ban that strategy. Bull fucking shit. You know what? I was trying to promise myself I was going to watch my language, because now in YouTube, they're going to, you can either go into yourself now in YouTube, if you don't know the back end, when you go into to post and create and get this thing scheduled to post, YouTube, they used to go through themselves with some sort of manner and decide whether or not it was age appropriate, if they were going to put restrictions on it. Then they went to you police yourself and you choose how bad of your language or sex or nudity. And they have these different classifications. Is it mild? And if we find that you're accurate and you're reporting your videos fairly, we're going here again, then we'll leave you alone. You can do your own, set your thing. But if you start like, for example, on this video, if I say, nope, there's no profanity, nothing, it's clean, it's for all ages, and their AI goes through and says, you use the F word like 42 times in 2 minutes, they're going to say, okay, you no longer have the right to do your own. So anyway, that's, I was trying to watch my language because I also know some of you watch on your TV and you got your kids around. Now on one hand, I say that's on you. You know, you're on a gambling channel. You know what I say, you know how I talk most of the time. We're staying low. But I get it too. I need to watch my language. I've been trying to clean up my language, so I'll watch it. Good reminder. All right, we're at 10 minutes here. Let's grab this win here. Let's get this series, and we're going to be really close. I think we're going to be sliding right in as the buzzer, as that buzzer hits, our shot's going through the net. So that's my prediction. My prediction is at about 15 minutes, we're going to be just slightly above water level, if the dude will cooperate with me. All right, we're staying here. Double plus 1 unit. We're at a 7-unit bet, 70 cents. Let's go. Oh, by the way, yesterday I went through and tried to respond to a whole bunch of comments on the videos, all the videos. I'm going to try to go through today. There's so many I'm trying to get through. You've taken the time to make comments, to make questions. So I'm committed to making time to go back and respond to those as well as I can, as much as I can. And I try to make, I don't try to do copy paste answers. Thanks. I try to, yes. All right. We're going to go high with 1 unit. Look at that. We've almost fully recovered and we have basically 3 spins more. So I think our forecast is going to be right on. And again, the beauty on this one is we can lose 4 in a row. And as soon as we win, we're winning as if we won 1 spin every time. That's why I really love this strategy. So as long as we don't bust, we are going to recover here on this series if it goes beyond a couple losses, right? All right, let's go. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. That word beautiful reminds me of this joke. I've already said the F word in this video. So this video is already tanked as far as viewing audiences and age restrictions. So this kid, he's like in the 4th grade and he's smoking in the classroom, and the teacher says, okay, I want you guys to think about it and I want you to use the word beautiful in a sentence. And then, Tommy from Brooklyn raises his hand. She goes, okay, Tommy, use beautiful in a sentence. He says, my sister came home, or she used it in a scenario. My sister came home the other day and told my pops I'm pregnant. And my pop says, beautiful, just fucking beautiful. Sorry, that's funny to me. All right, we're at 12:44. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to do just a couple more spins. And like I said, there's nothing worse than recovering and then going back. And that's always a chance, especially when you're playing outside bets. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to win 1 more. And so we'll go through this entire sequence up to a certain amount. And if we're fortunate enough to win, we're going to call it there and consider this a huge victory. There it is. I'm going to consider that a huge victory for this session and the previous one, that we were able to go with negative devil-born progression strategy, got us out of the hole that the positive angelic strategy got us into. And I don't want to bury us. I'm going to be very, very, very happy and pleased with a 15-cent overall for the day. Again, you break even, that's a win. Okay, gang, that's it for today. We will stick with our negative progressions moving forward, but I'm going to talk to the team and be playing around in our Discord server in the live chat channel. So if you are part of Discord, jump in. It's great conversations, and I'm going to continue playing on with the positive because I do see an aspect of it that's really, really attractive, and that's minimizing your losses. At the same time, if you can get past the first bet, from then on within that series, you're playing with house money just for that series. And I think there's something to that. So let's see if we can refine it or not. All right, that's it. Listen, be good humans, play smart, stick to the plan. Don't get crazy, stick to the plan. We got this. And I'm still formulating my plan for my road trip series and overhauling everything to be more of a lifetime series of how do we make this a daily job so that we can quit our daily job. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.